Hey, what is up guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be testing out the new cars, finding out if there's actually a new car that is the best drift car, and you will be very surprised in this video. There are a lot of good drift cars in this new update. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. So I was going to skip a lot of vehicles, and obviously you're going to skip the Cyclone, it can't drift, but then I realized that you can actually lower this thing. So once I realized you can lower it, it's going to have a bit less grip. I thought let me try it out. It still really cannot drift, but it's very interesting to drive. So really all you can do is handbrake and then accelerate. Yeah, it's a car that really can't drift. You can just pull the handbrake and you can kind of accelerate, and even when you do that, it's a bit snappy when you start accelerating because of all the torque. And it is predominantly front wheel drive, so that's why it's also a bit hard. Let's see if I can make this. Totally what I meant to do. So we are now in the Sentinel XS HSW version, and I've done nothing to it, so I haven't lowered it, but I do think it needs lowering. I've just been going around a few corners, and as you can see, double clutching this car, you can't even get the wheels to spin. It's like the torque is very, very limited on certain gears. So I forgot to mention earlier that all these cars I'm actually live commentating, just so you know, it's a clear indication of how I am authentically drifting these cars. So I'm actually live commentating all of them, not just editing in my best bits. So I think I am actually going to have to lower this vehicle because it's seeming to grip up a lot more than I thought it would. So if you don't know how to lower a car, just make sure you have no bulletproof tires and then shoot with a sniper rifle here. You'll see it lower once and then twice. So you just keep shooting at the same place, and once you see it lower twice your car, then you know you're ready to go on that wheel. You have to do this to all four wheels. Okay, so I'm going to try double clutching it now. Yep, and it's definitely better. It reminds me of like a mini Banshee, if that makes any sense. Like half what the Banshee is capable of doing, the Banshee 900R. Yeah, definitely a lot better. And this is actually driftable. And already the Sentinel is a car that I can put up there with the drift cars in this game, because I am actually liking this. This is the first time I've tried it, and I'm not regretting it. A very good car, very driftable, but remember this is also very expensive too. So this is 1.3 million to upgrade, so you are looking at a lot of money. But make sure you use the free ticket for this and the Banshee. If you've not already seen my last video, then that shows you how you can get your second free ticket. Right, the Turismo Classic. I mean, some of these cars you'd think to skip across because, you know, one of them's in muscle cars, and this is a sports classic. But we're just doing drifting, and this is a good drift car. Now, it is very, very high speed, so you have to be quick on reaction. Just look how fast this car is. But it's definitely a car that is driftable, and I am going to now lower it and see what the difference is when I lower it. Okay, it's been around a minute and a half, and I think I've got the hang of it. I'm probably going to spin out now because I said that, but yeah, it's a very torquey car, and very fast at the same time. Yeah, it is quite easy to spin out. I'm pretty sure if I had a bit more time to drive this car, I'd be a lot better at it. But yeah, I was expecting in this video for there to be a lot more cars that, you know, are not able to drift. But it seems like these cars are actually very good at drifting. And yeah, I mean, if you're really that much into drifting and you don't have a PlayStation 5, maybe that's one more aspect of purchasing one. Now, the Arbiter GT. This is my favorite car from the DLC. And would I say favorite drift car from the DLC? I think so. I've not fully tested all the cars yet, but this car, oh, it is very predictable. It already goes on the top of the list of my favorite driftable muscle car. And I know it's a muscle car, and you know, I wouldn't really class it as a drift car, or we're just talking about the ability of drifting. And this, I feel like even if you were new to the game, you would predict this very easily. The boltiness just adds to the character. You feel like you're in a 70s, 80s action movie. And honestly, it's just, you can only see if you try it for yourself. Oh, I don't want to go to the finishing line. I love the fact that you can do a wheelie and then as soon as you come down, if you try drifting it, it will do a wheelie again. It just wheelies, and it's such an amazing, such a characteristic car, such a fun car because it can do so much. And you know, it's almost flawless drifting wise. Like, it's very hard to spin out this car or crash it. Oh no, hopefully it doesn't rain. It looks like it's about to rain. But the S95. Now, what's annoying about this vehicle is the fact that you can lower the Cyclone, but you can't lower the S95. This is, I think, the only one DLC where they've actually brought out cars that can be lowered and cars that can't be lowered, which is a weird one. I think that was just a fluke there. I'm finding it slightly difficult to drift this car, and it's just a snappy sensation. So unless I just tap the handbrake at the end of drifting like that, I'll get a snappy reaction. But all in all, this is actually quite a good drift car. It's just that I've been in, as you see, it gets a bit snappy there, and it's just that these new cars are so good at drifting that it puts a higher requirement on certain cars. And yeah, this one is a bit weird because throughout the rev range, it's almost like the turbo just kicks in at high RPM and it could catch you off guard. I find this car actually very effective on doing long handbrake turns. So if you do a long handbrake turn, it's very controllable, and I would say it's better at doing long handbrake turns than it is drifting on short circuits. So yeah, such a cool car to drift, and these cars are more high-end drifting because of the speed, except the Sentinel. But all in all, great drift cars. Now, just got done lowering the Banshee, and yeah, the Banshee HSW. I really don't understand why Rockstar don't just put the name as Banshee HSW or HSW Banshee. It gets very confusing when your garage has two Sentinel XSs and you don't know which one is a HSW version. Now, in regards to drifting, this might be the most interesting because everyone knows the Banshee 900R is one of the best drifters in the game. And how would this compare? Will this be better? Will this be worse? Well, really, in low-end speeds, they nearly both feel identical. Now, I say nearly because, as I talked about in the last couple of cars, there is a snappy sensation to some of these cars. And this one has it a bit more than the Banshee 900R. I mean, it costs a lot more than the Banshee 900R, and I guess that's what we're comparing here. And the Banshee 900R does have a lot of modifications, and really, this doesn't feel like it should cost 1.87 million to upgrade, but it does, and that's nothing we can do about it, and that's just the price you pay if you want high-end mod like speed. Drifting really is just, yeah, it's just the same, just a bit more snappy, I'd say, and you won't be disappointed when it comes to, you know, drifting this after you've drifted that was a long double clutch. After you've drifted the Banshee 900R, they really do feel the same. You'll get to feel the power a bit more once you start drifting. Once you start accelerating over, I think, third gear and over 100 miles an hour, that's when you'll feel the difference in speed. But if you're not into that, I would say this is a vehicle you should avoid and just keep the 900R if you're trying to save some money. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and let me know if you want me to do a dedicated how to drift video with these new cars, because they're a bit off, and I'll warm up a bit and I'll show you how to drift if you want to see that. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. See you guys in the next one.